The king of all movie monsters is back and stronger than ever. So today I saw the 2000. I saw the Godzilla movie, and let me tell you, everyone here, it did not disappoint. For me personally, I grew up watching all the Godzilla films. I'm a massive, massive Godzilla fan, and I love the character Godzilla. I love the movies. I love the original 1954 classic. So for me going into this film, I'm just really pumped. Like, I want to see some great action. I really want to see some great action in it. And I'm proud to announce to anyone who's watching this video right now, it does not disappoint. So I don't really have to explain the story that much because it's Godzilla. It's a very simplistic story. Well, okay, I'll try to explain as much as I can. In Japan, they're experiencing like radioactive emotions. I wouldn't say emotions actually. I would say mostly like shockwaves or kind of like tremors or earthquakes like that, and they indicate that it is resulted of a case of a creature killed in the 1950s. And they realize that it's pretty much this creature is dying and had a child, and which is Godzilla. And I'm sorry if I screwed up on the story on that, but who cares? Let's just address the best things about this movie first, because that's pretty much this whole video now. The story, very ambitious, and it really succeeds. And the director, Gareth Edwards, he directed a low-budget film a few years ago called Monster, and I really like that film a lot. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm really excited to see this. I'm like, yes, the directing ability and the effects and the practical effects and the CGI they use in this film, very believable. And I loved it. Some shots here and there were a little obvious, but I'm like, yeah, who gives a fuck? I'm here for Godzilla. I don't care. The characters and the acting, very impressive. Bryan Cranston, fantastic. Like, I loved his character. He was so sympathetic. He was so relatable. He was so enjoyable to watch. He's playing his heart out in this movie, and you can tell. He's just owning this movie. Only for the first, like, 30 or 40 minutes. Because if you've seen the movie, you know what happens to his character. And I'm not going to spoil that in this video. Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, who I personally really liked a lot, even though a lot of people say he's not that great. But I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was very, very good in this movie. Like, he had this real sternness to him. He had this real gratitude and very, very adult, very, very strong inner character who I'm just like, yes, I just love this character. He's so cool and so badass. He's just a superhero. He's just so courageous and so likable. And the Elizabeth Olsen, who plays his wife, she's okay. She's good. I liked her a lot. However, the actor who played the kid, not all that good, but he's very little. He plays a small part in the film, so I don't really care much. I love the angle of the story. Like, they don't approach this from like, oh my god, Godzilla's around and about. No. It's very much like, hey, there is these seismic activities. There is these tremors, like I said before. There's these happenings in Japan, and it kind of leads up to the idea that this creature that happened before, this is because of it. I'm like, that's very smart, and I liked how that really connected with the introduction to the film really comes into play for it, which it obviously should, and it does groundbreakingly, and I love that. Oh man, the action scenes were so fucking good. Like, they were so fucking good. Like, oh man, like, you seriously should have been there. Now, a lot of people say that, and I always say this too, the marketing campaign and the build-up for this movie was insane. And I'm just, I'm just going to this film. I'm just like, yes, I don't just want to see action in this film. I want to see characters who can make me care that they're going through, and they did. I'm like, oh yes, they succeeded on the characters in a movie that you're supposed to watch just for the action, and yet they still succeeded with the characters. I'm like, yes, an action, silly, great action film does something fantastic for once, and I'm just like, yes, thank you, director, thank you. It does it so great and so flawlessly. A lot of people have complained about the middle act in this film. They say it's too long, it's too convoluted. They say it's like there's one scene, there's a certain point where where there's almost like no action for about 20 or 30 minutes. And while I didn't notice that, well, I personally did also know that, and it happened to me. It seemed for me every moment that was happening, I was glued to the screen. Even if it's just a simple conversation, I was still glued to it. There wasn't a dull moment throughout this film, and I'm just like, oh, it really works well. Really does work greatly. And, the middle section, I actually surprisingly really liked a lot. The beginning was fantastic. I love how they built this film up from that point. And I love another great technique that you use in this film is that whenever they would show a creature, they would just shine a light at certain of the lower parts of it, so we get this giant sense of size and build up to it. And whenever they show the monster in like the first hour or an hour and a half, they show a little bit of it. They show just a fraction, just a certain shot of it. Even if you can see the rest on the screen, it shows you mainly a certain section on it. It builds up the size and the scope and the epicness of this atmospheric place and the creatures, and the size difference between the human and the creature. It really shows that greatly. I love how the film just seriously builds up these creatures like, holy shit, they're so big, holy crap, they're massive, I really want to see what happens in the end, It gets you so excited. Fortunately, there's one scene that kind of got me mad. There's this big action scene where you can see Godzilla facing towards another creature in Japan, and they kind of go toward each other like this, and then it goes like that and cuts. And I'm just like, what the hell? What happened? I want to see the action. Why did it cut away? I'm like, oh. I know that's the film's technique of pulling me in. It showed me I need to get introduced with these characters. And it needs to build it up. Because we all know in the end, it drops the ball. It doesn't drop the ball. It really does show there's a massive weight in the power the film has. The chemistry between Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, fantastic. I loved it, and I really believed it too. And I loved it. There's some moments in the film where it really does. It's shot beautifully. It's shot gorgeously, and I'm just like, oh man, it looks gorgeous. It really does show the proportional size and the epicness and real scope to the film. That there's a real sense of epic. Like, I've said epic a lot in this video now. I'm saying it again. This film was fucking epic, and I will say that until the day I die. What else I really loved about this film is that there's also this great sense of, like I said before, there's a sense of scale to it. Like, when I saw Godzilla, I'm like, he's proportionally around 700 or 800 feet tall, and he's massive. He's fucking massive, man. Oh, man. And, the ending. Love it. The ending fight. Let me tell you this. Really reminds me of Pacific Rim, where there really is a size of grandiose and real weight it has. It has it building up, and building is like starting the end of the film is like it builds up the size and the activity of the film. It really makes it bigger throughout the film. As like at the end, it goes balls all out. It goes balls through the wall, like insane, man. It really goes it. goes at it. And I don't care how minimalistic you show Godzilla in this film. Whenever you show Godzilla in this film, make sure he's epic, make sure he looks great, and make sure it gets me glued to the seat like this. Because whenever I saw Godzilla, that's Godzilla. That is Godzilla. He looks fantastic. The effects, like, holy shit. Holy shit, are they good. Like, they are fantastic effects. Like, when you really get up and close, like this close on the creatures, you can see the fine detail, and the fine detail in the buildings, and the fine detail in the really big epic shots of the cities. Fan-freaking-tastic. I loved that. I just loved it. Oh, I just couldn't stop loving this film all the way through. And I just really wanted the effects of building this scenario up and make it so gritty and so realistic, which I can understand if I'm saying it, if I'm kissing this film's ass a bit too much, because it's a fucking huge monster. Okay, this is anything but realistic. Okay, but I just gotta tell you, it really doesn't disappoint on what it does. There's people who are just going through this film saying, I just want to see action, and you will get that in the end. However, you need to be patient for it. You really gotta be patient, and you really gotta keep your view of this movie completely. Don't let your guard down. Don't let your guard down. Don't give up on this film if you're a huge Godzilla fan. Don't just go into this film for the action, even though there's plenty of action. However, there is a few things that I like. There's some moments where I'm just like, I felt like the length of this film, I'm like, it could have been longer. And I'm not saying like, oh, I want to see more, which I do want to see more, but I really wanted, this film is only like 2 hours long. I wanted this film to be 2.5 hours. I wanted a lot more action scenes along. I wanted to see a bit more of the grandiose and a bit more of the heavy action aspect of it. I love the fact that it is building it up. But I'm just saying, you gotta have some more. There's so much you can intentionally build up in the film. In the end, it feels like you poked the balloon too fast. It's like, yes, you got it, and it's great. It's just over a bit too quick. And I'm sorry, that's a bit of a complaint. And the other complaint I have is that there's this, like I said before, the characters are fantastic, and I love them all. But there's not so much of the sense of building up these characters. Like in the beginning, it's like it shows Bryan Cranston's character, and it's like, you see what happens to his wife, and you see what happens to him. It's like, it all shows that, and it's like, 15 years later, I'm like, what happened? I'm like, I want to see there's some good aspects of the film where it kind of missed it out. But I'm just like, alright, if it has to focus on this certain side of this story, then I appreciate the film for doing that, and I totally understand that. I'm just saying, I would like to see some more of the film. But if anything, that's complimenting the film too. Because I'm just telling you, everyone right here, right now, this movie is fucking fantastic. And right now, on Rotten Tomatoes, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 72. Make it bigger. Make it fucking bigger, man. It's fantastic. It deserves so much more. Yes, there's so much running on the film, and it could have easily dropped the ball if it had another director in its hands. But Gareth Edwards is the perfect director, and this is the perfect. I mean, he's the perfect director for this type of story. And I'm just saying here to all the Godzilla fans who are watching this video right here, right now on YouTube, this is the perfect Godzilla film. It may not have a lot of action, but it has all the great build-up, and it has a fantastic payoff. What can I say? But Godzilla is a movie you have to see. And another thing it's not a complaint with the film, but it's something that I would like to done, is that I wish I saw this movie in IMAX and up close. Because I want to see this right here. I just wanted to really have a great sense of this film just being totally built up. And everyone, I fucking love this film. This is like right now my favorite film of this year. Like, I love there's some other great movies I reviewed of this year, like Captain America was great. 300 was really good. Lone Survivor was fantastic. This is probably my favorite right now. Everyone, I just love this film, and my rating for this film is going to be, like how I said before, there's a few complaints, not enough character development, and I would like to see some more of it. It should have been longer. However, Mama was sharp. Thank you. I will give this film a 90. I'm going that obsessive. From a huge Godzilla fan like myself, it does not disappoint. And let me tell everyone, if you want to see a good action movie with plenty of great characters, great suspense and build up, and a wonderful payoff, Godzilla is the perfect summer blockbuster film that you can get. And that's my main review of Godzilla. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to me. And like always, stay strong, because Godzilla might be coming to your theater next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.